And joining me now is Democratic Senator Maria Cantwell, the top Democrat on the Commerce Committee, as well as a member of the Finance Committee. Senator, thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it. And it's so timely that we're talking about this. What would your proposal do?
Well, we want Congress, who constitutionally is supposed to direct not just interstate commerce, but foreign commerce, to reassert itself in this discussion. Just like we approve trade deals, we should be able to review these trade and tariff policies that the administration is putting forth.
Why is it that that has not been something Congress has been able or willing to do?
Well, I think when we have given direction to presidents in the past and other administrations, most of the time they've gone and created trade policies. That is, opening up with, say, Panama or Chile or Singapore or the Central America Free Trade Agreement, or most recently in the Trump administration, a revision to the USMCA. So most of the time, the policy has worked because the direction given to an administration has been used to open up markets. And in this case, it's being used in a very, very broad and we think misconstrued way to create a tariff policy, very, very broad, not related to a rules-based approach. And so we want to review that.
The fact that Senator Grassley has signed on to this, it's very clearly he is in the minority as far as Republican senators. But yesterday, 4 Republican senators did vote to stop the president's tariffs on Canada. Specifically, the House probably won't even take that up. What do you think about the odds of your proposal going forward?
Well, the reason why Senator Grassley and I wanted to work together on a very thoughtful approach and why we kept it to the two of us is because as the ranking member on commerce, obviously I know a lot, and my state is a very big export commerce state. We know a lot about this authority granted by the Constitution to Congress. And Senator Grassley, as the previous chair of the Finance Committee, has been involved in the last several years, not only in these trade agreements, but in trying to look at a policy that we could get our colleagues to join in on. And so he's had other attempts in the past during the last Trump administration. So now we hope that our colleagues will take a look at this today, because the urgency of we don't want to start trade wars. You know, we want to see trade agreements and opening up of markets. But there's not a reason to impact all these businesses and households with higher costs right now, particularly when inflation is still high.
And so just looking at both the states that both of you represent, you know, Washington and Iowa, such ag-centric, ag-heavy states that give so much and contribute so much, not only to our economy, but they feed much of the world in so many ways. I'm just wondering the impact you see on this broad-based series of tariffs across every single country that we trade with for our agricultural products.
Well, good question, because that is the big concern. The United States grows much more food than to just feed Americans. And by having access to those foreign markets, it's a lot of jobs. When the Trump tariffs went into effect, I have almost between 7,000 and 8,000 families involved in apple growing in the state of Washington. That curtailed, those previous tariffs curtailed those activities, and we lost huge $100 million markets. So we've gotten them reopened, particularly with India, and we don't want to see them closed again. Because while we could keep farmland in the future, I guarantee you, if this is prolonged, you will lose farm families. And I'm not interested in having big corporations just own all the farmland. So the growing middle class around the world is a great market for U.S. agriculture products.
What about all of the restrictions that some of these countries around the world have to receiving our agricultural products? And I'm thinking a lot more about, grains and things that have been modified. Is that kind of opposition to our agricultural products something that could be negotiated when it's more than just an economic reason? They're defending it from American products for other reasons.
Yes, and so that's why you need rules-based trade. You need to say, We are for opening these markets. Here are the rules and why trade agreements in the past. So in the Bush administration, we did some of these very big agreements, as I mentioned, Singapore, Peru, Chile. And guess what? They now have turned into being some of the biggest markets where we have more exports to those countries. And so that is what we need to be doing. But when you start a tariff war, the consequences to all of these growers in the meantime can mean huge disruption. And what I think we would like people to think about is that even the last administration, there had been a big change to today, where competition is happening much faster, where getting on the market shelves of some other country might prohibit us, even when the agreement's over with, to get access back to that market. So we don't want people realigning without us. We've been a great aligner. The United States has been the person that says, these are the rules, and this is what you should all follow, and let's go do this. And we want to keep building that.
I didn't mean to interrupt you. I'm so sorry. What would you say to people who point out TPP, NAFTA, CAFTA, even USMCA, and say, you know what, the Americans, our own people, have been pretty bad at negotiating these free trade agreements? And I'm thinking of TPP and what happened there. What do you say to people who are saying, you know what, just our own negotiators in the past have been really poor?
Well, this was a huge USMCA negotiation, and where colleagues of mine like Sherrod Brown and other Democrats who never voted for trade agreements voted for them because they put labor standards in place. And those labor standards of making those countries meet that, I actually also passed into law making sure that USTR had more lawyers to enforce our trade agreements. We had just a handful of lawyers over there. So when we threatened a country and said, listen, adhere to this agreement you signed, no one was backing that up. And so what I want to see is us to continue to grow these rules-based systems, get other countries to buy in. I think right now we should have a huge alliance on technology. If we want to stop China, we should say the 5 most sophisticated technology and democracy countries only buy from people who don't have a government backdoor. So that kind of alliance building would give the United States a lot of clout, and that's what we should return to and take care of the workers.
And then I think, Senator, I want to end our conversation with something I think that the world can agree on. Washington apples are probably the best, among the best in the world.
Well, if you haven't had a Cosmic Crisp, I will send it to you. But if I could, just 1 second on that, because
yes,
it goes
please.
to your point. So the R&D that was done to produce an apple that doesn't brown anymore but tastes unbelievable is what captured a huge market. Some of our growers are thinking about only producing Cosmic Crisps. But that level of innovation is what helped America win in the apple market, not sitting here trying to get a tariff war that got us kicked out of India and not allow us to sell into that market. So let's open markets, let's do the innovation, and we will still grow family farms in the U.S.